You're watching the show that puts Mid-Michigan news in focus. This is Focal Point.
Find out what kind of efforts are taking place in Lansing to bring more visitors into the state capitol in the Michigan Library and Historical Museum tonight on Focal Point.
Construction is leading to more access for bikers, but less room for drivers to park.
The mobile dental centers.
And some students in Ingham County might have a brighter smile by the end of the school year. It's a dentist on wheels, and we're taking you inside. Focal Point starts now.
I'm Marley Delaney.
And I'm Daniela Bruce. Welcome to Focal Point.
As the college semester comes to an end, campus construction is just beginning. Tyler Clifford takes a look at some of the changes that are coming.
The summer months bring out shorts, bikes, and construction on Michigan State University's campus. And this construction season will see improvements on West Circle Drive to extend the bike lane. But freshman Justin Carpenter says he'd rather ride on the sidewalk.
I don't know, I actually feel safer on the sidewalks than I do on the road, so.
With each campus construction project, MSU commits to improve bike safety on nearby roads. Civil engineer Scott Gardner says they will add a foot in width to the road to make the bike lane bigger.
Road construction will go from the corner here where you can see the pavement stopped all the way over to Auditorium Road. What the bike lane does do gives them a direct path without having to worry about getting hit by a vehicle. So it's a level of comfort that you have to work with.
The bike lane ends here. The plan is to extend the lane all the way across West Circle Drive, but the construction plan will come at a cost of additional parking spaces.
We're losing 8 spaces in front of the museum in Lot 6, and in Lot 11 we're losing 10 spaces. In the process of doing this, we're making all the parking spaces the standard parking size. A lot of them are undersized, so you can't park 2 full-size vehicles in there without hitting metal to metal.
But MSU alum Mark Lauterbach says it's harder to find parking now than in the 80s.
It's really weird. I mean, here it looks like they're forcing everyone out to the commuter lots, and when it's 20 below and snowing in the wintertime, that doesn't make any sense to me. And it's a beautiful campus, but I drove around for 20 minutes to find a parking spot, which is ridiculous.
Harder for drivers to park, but safer for bikers to travel.
The wider portion, I would definitely feel better with it, especially because if I can feel like I can maybe even pass someone in the bike lane, or be passed by someone and not feel like either of us are going to get smoked by a car.
For Focal Point, I'm Tyler Clifford.
The construction season begins May 11th and ends in mid-August. Redevelopment projects are booming in downtown Lansing, including a new craft beer and wine bar called the Beer Grotto. People who visited the Beer Grotto since last weekend's grand opening are giving it the thumbs up. It's across from the Cooley Law School Stadium, and features a variety of craft beers, boutique wines, and paninis. Director of Marketing Jake Venata says they chose Lansing because the city has experienced so much growth in the last 5 years.
Having the Lansing Center seemed like a perfect fit for us, and we really wanted to bring a different, unique vibe to downtown Lansing, bring in a craft beer scene here, which has been developing slowly, and we just want to help add to that.
The Beer Grotto is located on the corner of Michigan Avenue and Cedar Street and is open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Changes are happening at a couple of Lansing landmarks, and leaders hope that means more people will be stopping by to visit both the state capitol and the Michigan Historical Museum. These students visiting here at the Capitol today are getting a civics lesson on how state government works.
Today is a little unusual. That's about double what we do on a normal day.
Matt Vanacker is the tour director at the Capitol and says they usually average about 15 tours on a normal day, but knows that number can increase.
We bring in a lot of volunteers to help us with it.
And due to budget cuts 12 years ago, the Capitol stopped offering tours on Saturdays, but now the Capitol is hoping to open again on Saturdays to help increase the number of visitors.
We're hoping within the next couple of weeks that we'll get approval to be able to open up on Saturday again.
And that will help with those who can't visit the state capitol during the week. Michigan Historical Center Museum Director Linda Endersby says that the number of visitors varies depending on the time of year.
April, May, the beginning part of June is very busy with school groups coming through. Other times of year, in the summer, it's less busy during the week, but then we pick up more sort of vacation visitors.
She says increasing awareness is one of the museum's main efforts because people in the area just don't know about it.
We have a lot to offer, and it would be good if we could bring more people in the door.
The museum has started full renovation on the second floor galleries to attract more visitors.
The younger professional crowds are some of the newer audiences that we would like to try to reach.
She stresses that the museum is a great learning environment for students because there are things they can't learn from sitting in a classroom.
Real history, the 3D, the artifacts, the pieces of history that were there that can have people experience history in a very different way.
And with the state capitol and the Michigan Historical Center being landmarks in the city of Lansing, state officials hope that people will begin to appreciate them more. To find out more about tours of the state capitol and the Michigan Historical Center, you can visit them both online at www.michigan.gov and www.michigan.gov/MHC. The 2016 presidential race has taken off, and Hillary Clinton says she is the champion America needs. Clinton posted a video on Sunday that she is officially running for president, and so far she is the first Democrat to enter the race. Clinton is starting her campaign in the battleground states of Iowa and New Hampshire. Also this week, Florida Senator Marco Rubio announced that he is seeking the Republican nomination for president. Rubio spent Friday in New Hampshire speaking with activists, business leaders, and students about his campaign. He joins Republicans Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, who have already announced they are running.
Sunday, April 19th marks the 20th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. The blast destroyed the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, killing 168 people and injuring hundreds more. A remembrance ceremony held at the memorial site will include 168 seconds of silence, a reading of the victims' names, and speakers including former President Clinton. 15,000 people are expected to attend. It's Public Health Week in Michigan, and improvements to the state healthcare system are being put into place. Focal Point's Daniel Hamburg gives us a closer look at the changes in Michigan's healthcare system.
As the clock struck midnight last Friday, the Departments of Community Health and Human Services officially merged to become the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
We try to fit the programs to the person rather than fit the person to the programs.
Jim Koval is with the new department. He says one of the main reasons the two departments came together is to streamline the program for the people who need help.
Hopefully we'll can have a one-stop shop for lower income and other persons in need of services rather than having them go to 2 or 3 different offices in different parts of town.
The recently established Department of Health and Human Services is helping statewide efforts to ensure the health of all Michiganders. Here in Ingham County, a recent ranking shows the county 42nd in the state. But that's not the whole picture.
The rankings from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation show a drop from 27th last year to 42nd this year. But Ingham County Health Officer Linda Vale sees it differently.
We shouldn't look at a shift as being, what happened good versus bad from last year completely, because that's not necessarily always the easiest thing to do because of using different data sets.
She says her office uses the data to more so see the issues to work on in the community.
It doesn't matter whether we're the best or we're the worst. If it's an issue, we need to be addressing it.
Since each local department has its own governing body, the state provides guidance, tools, and technical expertise.
We'll provide those services and expertise and personnel to assist local health departments to make their communities the healthiest, safest, most prepared places that we can.
Between the county rankings and new department structure, public health in Michigan is becoming a top priority. For Focal Point, I'm Daniel Hamburg.
Michigan's Public Health Week aims to recognize the work happening in local public health across the state and in the policy arena.
A dentist on wheels will make sure all Ingham County school children have brighter, healthier smiles. A ribbon cutting marked the launch of the health department's mobile dental center. It's a 40-foot long bus. A $500,000 grant paid for the fully equipped, handicap-accessible bus in addition to other equipment like toothbrushes, toothpaste, and floss. Ingham County Health Officer Linda Vale said the new mobile dental center will bring preventive and restorative dental services directly to schools and will offer care regardless of insurance of status or ability to pay.
You know, the kids are in schools anyway. Getting out to go to a dental appointment is additional challenge and additional barriers for some families. So to the extent that we can do that where the kids are, it's better for the kids, it's better for the families, it's better for our community.
The mobile dental center will visit its first school before the end of the current school year and will have a full schedule next school year. How does breakfast all day sound? A few McDonald's locations in San Diego are trying it out. On Monday, some locations will serve 9 breakfast items after 10:30, including McMuffins, hotcakes, and the fruit and yogurt parfait. McDonald's tried out a longer breakfast back in 2012 called Breakfast After Midnight, serving some of the same items from midnight to 5 a.m.
You know, that really does sound good. I hope they get breakfast all day.
I think so too.
On campus, Focal Point gives an inside look at how MSU is going green.
And in the clash at Comerica, the Spartan baseball team took on Central Michigan in the home of the Tigers. We have the highlights.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, that's it? This water's too polluted. This disease too far along. To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, value people's differences, and are willing to forge true partnerships, then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Like renewable energy, clean water, and Parkinson's disease. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.
Some local East Lansing restaurants and businesses are going to be torn down to make way for more apartments.
The Lansing State Journal reports that the apartments will be located in the 1300 block of Grand River Avenue. The 4-story building would have over 50 units and is expected to be completed in 2017. It would be on the land where the old Tasty Twist ice cream shop was before it moved down the street. Maize and blue aren't usually seen at MSU this time of year, but a few Wolverines just couldn't stay away.
Focal Point's Ariel Rumbert has that story and more in our on-campus report. Ariel?
Thanks, guys. MSU's iconic Spartan statue was vandalized by a group of Wolverine fans early Thursday morning. It was painted blue with a Maize M across the statue's chest. It cost about $300 to remove the paint. Crew members were able to have the statue cleaned up before daybreak and back to its original glory. State is going green in more ways than one, and now that spring is finally here, the student farm stand is open, and that's not the only way the university is conserving energy. Michigan State is known to bleed green, and Spartans are now taking steps to make MSU more sustainable, starting with the student organic farm stand.
I can taste the hard work.
The coolest thing I think is that we have like 15 acres of certified organic land on MSU's campus.
The farms use passive solar greenhouse or hoop houses to produce and distribute fresh fruits and vegetables all year long. And the workers are hoping to teach students what going green really means.
To me, going green means eating food that's locally grown, things that are more organic, so it's not as herbicide or pesticide involved, therefore it's healthier for your body to consume.
Fresh fruits will be coming into season soon, but there are still plenty of options at the stand.
We do have like salad mixes. We do have storage stuff from the winter time, like potatoes and carrots and cabbages. And
going green also means reaching goals of MSU's energy transition plan.
At the point where we're at in this kind of energy transition and thinking about MSU's energy future is that we, by the end of 2016, should be able to we'll be off coal.
That's right. MSU is doing more than just recycling. Spartans plan to permanently stop burning coal by 2016. The amount of coal burned at this plant right behind me has already been reduced by 65% since 2010.
Natural gas prices have dropped back off considerably in comparison to previous years, so we're able to do a lot more natural gas, and so that can help supplement what we were burning in the power plant prior to, which was more coal.
Conserving energy, reducing waste, and maintaining the campus ecosystem makes green more than just a school color at MSU. By 2020, MSU hopes to reduce energy consumption by 15%. MSU's third annual Science Festival is taking place on campus this week. Focal Point's Daniela Bruce gives us a closer look at one of the festival's events.
Sherry Burmeister brought her grandkids to MSU's campus to enjoy the bird banding event.
They're excited to catch a bird. We went through and there are no birds yet.
Renee Leone is very excited too. She is co-founder of the MSU Science Festival.
So we offer all sorts of events and activities that are appropriate for, adults, families, children.
People of all ages gathered on campus Friday morning.
You guys ever seen bird banding before? No.
Associate Fisheries and Wildlife Professor Jen Owen showed visitors exactly what bird banding is all about.
We have these mist nets, which are called mist nets. They're nets placed out in the brush here, and we are catching birds. And we're doing that just so that we can catch birds and show the public how we actually do this for our research. Catching the birds, we bring them back, and then we're putting a uniquely numbered band on their leg, and then we are taking some measurements, and then we release them.
Participants in this event even got to hold the birds after they were banded and release them back into the wild.
We're finding mostly songbirds, American robins, red-winged blackbirds, so mostly smaller birds, smaller passerine birds that we're looking for.
If I caught a bird here on their breeding grounds, someone could recapture that same bird on their migration path.
Owen said the information found from banding birds is very useful.
If someone catches our bird that we put a band on someplace else, or if a bird goes into someone's window at their home and they have a band, they can actually report that information.
Owen Ansage said it was a successful event.
I got to take them today, and we thought this would be an interesting thing to do. Okay, let's go look for some birds.
For Focal Point, I'm Daniela Bruce.
Tornado sirens sounded Thursday. It was just a test, but one students need to take seriously. Just last weekend, 2 people died when a tornado touched down in Illinois. When it comes to finding a safe place during a tornado, experts say you should go to rooms without windows or lower levels in the dorms. We asked a few students if they knew what to do.
I would definitely go to the first floor and this area, probably in the inner part of a building rather than the outside with windows.
Anywhere like under stairs or underground in the same building.
About tornado safety mostly is to avoid windows.
Every second matters after a tornado siren sounds, so students need to be prepared if one happens on campus. Words of wisdom from the happiest place on earth will be one of the highlights of this year's commencements. Bob Chapek is Walt Disney Parks executive and MSU graduate. He and fellow MSU alum Andrew Liverers, who is the CEO of Dow Chemical, will be speaking at graduation on May 8th. Tickets are not required to attend the event. Twitter users can follow the ceremonies using hashtag MSUGrad15. And that's what's happening on campus. I'm Ariel Rembert. Back to you guys.
While gambling and shows are a big draw to Las Vegas, thousands from around the country traveled there to learn about the latest in broadcasting.
April Jones takes us inside the 2 conferences.
While disc jockey and EDM artist Avicii was in Las Vegas to party, thousands of other professionals came out for the 5-day Broadcast Education Association Conference.
The people you see at places like this are always the best in the craft, always.
Educators like Al Tompkins from the Poynter Institute spoke to students and educators sharing broadcasting tips to be used in the real world.
One of the things I really appreciate is when educators come to something like this, they'll sit through hours of teaching just to get smarter. They don't have to be here.
Philip Paport and Aubrey Henkins, both journalism students from Point Park University, said it was nice to step out of the classroom to expand their learning capabilities.
It's really mind-blowing just to see the number of people that are here from all the different professions.
So it's just really nice to be able to talk to everyone and learn how you can find jobs in this field.
You can make a lot of connections here, whether it is with fellow students or with, like I said, people you're trying to get employed with, like CNN or CBS. So it really is a nice atmosphere, and it's just you can really find anything that you want in the broadcasting field at the BEA.
Not only can people attend sessions at the BEA, they can also cross the street and take a look at the latest technology, such as the Skybox camera.
Right, so these are all studio quality, high definition cameras. We sell them to a lot of TV stations.
David Carey was amongst the thousands of exhibitors showing off new gadgets at the National Association of Broadcasters showroom, hoping to interest those in the industry.
That's the whole point of coming to the show, is to show them what we have and sell some more cameras.
The showroom, the size of 2 stadium football fields, featured devices such as video IP cords to innovative control panels.
We have some stuff that I've never heard of before.
And while a windy sandstorm interrupted the nice weather outside, inside, more than 100,000 people walked around the exhibits where big money and big deals are brokered during the week, all in efforts to promote the broadcast industry. For Focal Point, I'm April Jones.
9 MSU students from the School of Journalism went out to Vegas for the BEA and NAB conference, and 3 of them brought home national awards. Graduate students Amanda Proscia, Kristen Lynch, and Colin Krizmanich took home honors in the annual BEA Festival of the Arts in the multimedia category. Krizmanich won Best of Festival for his entry, Advancement of the Islamic State, a multimedia website that looks at the effects of Islam in Iraq and Syria. Proscia and Lynch's entry, Focus on First World, won 2nd place in the small team multimedia category.
I thought it was pretty cool because I just started at Michigan State, or the grad program here last semester, and I'd never really done any type of journalism whatsoever. So doing this and my first big project and getting the award was pretty awesome.
Another J School grad student, Katie Amon, did not attend, but won 2nd place in the solo student multimedia category. These MSU students were among 232 winners out of nearly 1,400 entries in the annual national contest.
While attendees get to enjoy the displays for just a week, there's a lot of time and effort that goes into the event behind the scenes. Focal Point's Amanda Chodnicki takes us back to Vegas.
Steve Young has been coming to the National Association of Broadcasters show for a long time, as long as 31 years.
My first NAB was 1984.
Known as Wasco TV's go-to guy for everything behind the scenes, for Young, being on camera is a rare occasion.
Generally not being interviewed, so this is a first.
Which is strange, coming from a man nicknamed Camera Steve.
I'm not too sure why that is. I think of myself as knowing a little bit about a lot.
He's just a wealth of knowledge, as well as the rest of the Wasco team, but he's awesome, always willing to help, especially with any kind of camera issue or anything else.
And with an exhibit as big as this, there's always something that NAB presenters and their crews can help each other with.
When they walk in kind of a week and a half, 2 weeks ahead of time, it's a flat piece of concrete.
Concrete and empty rooms that turn into the world's largest broadcast convention, full of production and delivery of media content.
We were here until midnight to 2 a.m. before we got back. But yeah, that's what it takes to kind of get this all set up.
We spent considerable amount of time, many weeks of hard work, and then one day of setup. And
all in all, Camera Steve says it's all worth it.
It's always with a sense of pride. I mean, you look at what we've got here and go, like I said, from the ground up.
Reporting for Wasco TV, I'm Amanda Chodnicki.
To learn more about NAB, visit nab.org. The MSU Spartans face the Central Michigan University Chippewas on the largest baseball stage in the state of Michigan.
And over 300 of Michigan State's student athletes were honored at this year's Academic Excellence Gala. Next in sports.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, that's it? This water's too polluted. This disease too far along? To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, value people's differences, and are willing to forge true partnerships, then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Like renewable energy, clean water, and Parkinson's disease. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.
The Spartan baseball team faced Central Michigan in their fifth annual Clash at Comerica game on Wednesday after defeating U of M just the day before. Now, MSU had got off to a strong start, scoring at least 1 run an inning through the fifth, taking a 6-0 lead. Freshman pitcher Keegan Barr got his first career start, allowing just 3 hits, no runs through 5 innings. The Spartans scored again in the top of the 8th, taking a 7-0 lead, but don't count those Chippewas out just yet. After taking 3 walks, the Chippewas responded with 3 runs in the bottom half. After blanking the Spartans in the top of the 9th, Central rallied to score more than 6 to win the game. MSU head coach Jake Boss Jr. was not happy with his team's performance.
That's unacceptable on our part. You know, there's a difference between, I guess, wanting to win and hoping to win, and it looked like we were hoping to win in the 9th, in the 8th and the 9th, and that's not going to get it done.
The team is in action again this weekend in New Jersey against Rutgers. The Spartans continued spring football practice this week, gearing up for their annual green and white game. With the senior class gone, a handful of positions need to be filled, so Coach D'Antonio is looking to see which underclassmen will step up to get the jobs.
I think what we've got to do right now is, we've got to get depth at certain positions, corner, tailback. Those guys are younger players. But they're having good springs, and that's a positive, but, I guess that would be a concern because of our youth.
The 2015 Cotton Bowl champs will be on full display in Spartan Stadium next Saturday. Michigan State fans of all ages can cheer on their team for free starting at 2 p.m. Now, MSU basketball forward Matt Costello underwent successful knee surgery on Tuesday and will be out of commission for a couple of weeks. The junior felt discomfort in his left knee during the NCAA tournament, but he said it did not affect his performance. Coach Tom Izzo and Costello declined to comment further until after the season. Costello averaged a little more than 5 points and 7 rebounds per game. Now, MSU's Student Athlete Support Services celebrated its 18th annual Spartan Academic Excellence Gala at the Breslin Center on Monday evening. The gala recognizes student athletes with a 3.0 GPA or higher, along with other accomplishments. Athletic Director Mark Hollis said, championships aside, the classroom accomplishments are just as important.
It's rewarding. I think there are so many things that you see at Final Fours and bowl games that has a tendency to take it out of perspective at times. And while we compete for championships, this is really that experience that transcends young high school children through college and into adulthood that really makes them contributing members of society.
322 student athletes were honored this year, the most ever in the event's history. Now, coaches like Tom Izzo aim high on the court, but how low can he go on the golf course? You can join him and others in a charity game, but it'll cost you a pretty penny. Bidding begins at $10,000 in an online auction. Several coaches are in the game, including Izzo, John Beeline, John Calipari, and Greg Kemp. The winning bidders can bring 2 friends to have dinner and play a round of golf with one of these great coaches. Proceeds will benefit the American Cancer Society. For more information, go to Facebook and search for Focal Point MSU. And that's what we have happening in sports. I'm Tyler Clifford. Back to you guys at the table.
It just so happens to be National Volunteer Week, but one program in Lansing is helping to build more than just bikes.
Focal Point's Daniel Hamburg takes us inside this nonprofit gearing up for the summer.
You couldn't pay me enough to do some of the stuff I do here.
Carl Holtz has been a volunteer at the Kids Repair Program in Lansing.
Wheels, tires.
For 2 years now.
We got seat posts over here. We got a pile of handlebars over there.
He's just one of many people helping the Lansing community explore the trails around town.
I like to ride bikes, but I don't mind working on them either.
It all started in 1992 with a man who everyone called Granddad on the north side of town. He caught a neighborhood kid stealing a bike.
Granddad said, well, if I teach you to fix your bike, will you stop stealing them?
Ever since, volunteers have been recycling and giving back bikes to the community.
This is valve core wrench, taking out the valve core.
For Roy Bailey, this is his
second day in a row. Yes, sir.
After riding with Carl for a long time and even donating an air compressor, Roy decided to get involved.
It's a good cause to help the kids that need the bikes. We always needed bikes when we were young, so it's good to help the young kids now.
Every Wednesday during the open workshop, anyone can work on their own bike using the shop's tools and expertise from volunteers.
Take these out of here.
Starting in June and just about every week of the summer, kids can come here to the Kids Repair Program in Lansing to learn how to repair a bike and even take one home on the trails.
Last summer, 97 kids went through the program, and Carl says they walk out completely transformed.
Parents have told us, I don't know what you did to my kid, but they're not the same kid that walked in here.
Whether you want to buy a bike or build one, the program here aims to build self-esteem.
It's a learning experience. You're never too old to learn.
For Focal Point,
never too young to teach.
I'm Daniel Hamburg.
Registration for summer classes is now open for kids 10 to 17 years old.
Two of our Focal Point reporters had a different experience than most at the Vegas broadcasting conventions. Picked as 2 out of 10 interns for WaSchool TV, Amanda Chodnicki and Miguel Martinez-Valle helped the technology entertainment company set up and run their studio experience.
Hello, I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle.
And I'm Amanda Chodnicki.
And we're here in Las Vegas at the 2015 NAB convention.
Interning for WaSchool TV, which is an entertainment company that highlights different uses of technology.
This week we've done everything from give tours and scan badges to do some interviews of our own.
And here's a recap of everything that we did do this week.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what Scale Logic is doing here and showcasing?
Sure,
With an exhibit as big as this, there's always something that NAB presenters and their crews can help each other with.
WaSchool TV isn't the only company with internship opportunities for this event. Students interested can also look for internships through NAB or BEA directly by going to their website. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching.
We leave you now with sounds from the MSU Battle of the Bands. Good night.